Hello and welcome to another Nevada Wolf Adventures. Actually had a pretty busy weekend this week. It all started on Saturday with the 10th annual Carson City Sheriff's Office Extreme Motorcycle Training Competition, some mouthful like that. What it was a demonstration, actually a competition for these guys, but a demonstration for us on the skill that these gentlemen have with their motorcycles, either at high speeds or at slow speeds or tight corners. Just the extreme level of skill. And one of my favorite competitions that I watched was a very slow speed maneuvers, which was going down a straight, making a U-turn, a very wide circular U-turn, and then coming down the straight again. And one guy had his bike almost at a standstill for the entire 2.5 minutes that it took for him to complete the course. This here is the final competition. It's called Last Man Standing. The goal is to get your opponent to either put his foot down, hit a cone, or on the extreme, drop his bike. You're not allowed to touch the bike, and you're not allowed to kick or hit to try and push him over. So this is the finals. The gentleman here with his lights on is actually a San Jose police, and the gentleman in the orange shirt is one of the civilians in the course. So, San Jose wins. There we go. Congratulations. It was a lot of fun to watch, and I'm really glad that they had this out here and open for us to see, because I love these competitions. These are great to watch and really great to see the skill level. Afterwards, on Sunday, my mom invited me to do a 5-pass ride with her and Jim. And so I came over Spooner Summit, which for me would be pass number 1. This is still my favorite view of Tahoe as the mountains split apart and kind of open up that big blue body of water back there. As you can see, we had an overcast day, which actually made it for a very beautiful day. It wasn't too hot, it wasn't too cold, it was just perfectly calm. We've already gone over Luther Pass at this point, so that's number 2, and here we are heading up towards Carson Pass. And one of the things, if you remember the last time I posted a video about this, you would notice that Sydney up here, the Harley, was way ahead of me. It's just like, yeah, I'm not even going to try. And while, yes, Jim was taking it easy since this was just a cruise with him and I was actually able to keep up. And I'm not sure why that is, whether I had Uber gas or my bike was just awesome today or some mental block, whatever it was. I was able to keep up with him at speed, which was really good, and keep it up at the speed limit the entire way that we were riding. So here we are at Carson Pass. There we go. This is the place we turned around last time. That monument back there is the one for Snowshoe Thompson. And now we're heading down and going to go on towards Pioneer. Now, right here we've kind of bunched up behind these older cars, and automobile historians are going to hit me, but I think they're Model Ts? Model As? I don't know, they're beautiful old cars, but I'm not someone who knows my car history that well. So after we got to Pioneer, we took a side back road to kind of continue on rather than staying on the highway. And this was one of the more fun sections of this little stretch of road. Little one lane, very bumpy, a lot of patchwork, but still nice and twisty. And what's really not showing that well on the camera is the subtle elevation changes. It was really like a roller coaster going down through here. So here we are in Angel's Camp, and we're continuing on south. I'm not sure if you've read the book. I think the story is The Celebrated Jumping Frogs of Calaveras County. And there's the frog. We are in Calaveras County right now. So I love these old buildings. These were really beautiful architecture going through here. So I couldn't resist filming it as we were coming through. Now, one of the things, speaking of being able to keep up to speed, this RV that's up here in front of us was going down through a tight and twisty section, so of course he was going slower and we kind of got bunched up behind him. There's a BMW that's actually cut around me and cut around Jim ahead of us. And then we get out on this pass, and of course the guy just flew up to 80, 85, somewhere in there. I don't know. He was pulling way ahead of us. And it was like, really? So as we left that area, we came into Sonora, where we filled up with gas and stopped at a really cute little park where we had lunch. There must be a lot of people eating their lunch at that park, because there was a rather ballsy bird going around who was like, food, 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 give me food. So it was kind of cute to watch, and I really did enjoy having lunch with Mom and Jim. Jim is a really, really good cook, and so every time they dig something out that he has made at the house, it's really tasty, and I love for the most part, eating it. There's some stuff in there that is just like, no, my palate's not going to take that. But that's a thing against me, not against his cooking. So as we left Sonora, we are now heading over on Sonora Pass Road, and I kept this section of video because I stood up, I needed to stretch my back, and I just liked the way that the front of the bike just kind of dropped down away, and then it just comes right back up. And I was like, when I first saw this, I'm like, what happened there? And I was like, oh yeah, I stood up. So this is the first time that I've been on Sonora Pass, and I wasn't sure what to expect. So I asked Jim and Mom, it's like, what is this road like? What does it do? And they compared it to Ebbets Pass on Highway 4, which is a really steep, very technical, very tight, curvy road. In fact, if you look on Nevada Sport Bike Club, they actually rate it as one of the more advanced roads out there because it's very tight and very twisty. So I was like, oh, this is going to be interesting. I'm going to be going 10 miles an hour down this thing. Sonora Pass really wasn't that bad. It's a very beautiful road. There were some tight sections, but for the most part, it wasn't the steep drops that Ebbets Pass has got. So I was really glad to have the chance to go over this and be able to enjoy a new section that I had never seen before. So this is kind of giving you an idea of what the area is, and there's not a whole lot I can say because I really don't know this part of California that well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sit here and let the scenery speak for itself, and I will come back and continue my narration after we get down off the pass. So this is pass number 4 for all of us. Well, for me, because I had Booner Summit on there. Well, I want to show this really quick. We had just talked about a place that Jim and Mom went to where one of these old-fashioned gas pumps was still in use. And so I saw this one and I'm like, oh, I've got to get a video of it. I would really love to stop someplace where one of those pumps was still in use. That would just be completely cool and a totally awesome experience. So that's just me. I'm kind of goofy that way. We did a quick stop here and now we're back on the road heading up towards we're not at the summit yet. This is just kind of an overlook. So again, I'm going to let the scenery speak for itself and I will join you a little bit later. Alright, so now we've come down off of Sonora Pass and we're heading out towards 395 just to continue north and go home. And as we went through, I noticed that there was this Marine Corps base that I didn't know was here. And there's several choppers that are sitting here on the side of the road getting prepped for flight by the Marines that are around them. And I was like, this is just a neat view. This is a really cool experience. I know there is no chance that these guys are going to take off while we were going on the road simply for safety reasons, but it would have been really cool if we could see them take off. When we got down to Walker, Jim and Mom pulled over, and I was given the option to continue on 395 going north because they were going to turn and take Monitor Pass to continue on back up towards Tahoe. And of course I'm looking at them going, you honestly think I'm going to miss going over Monitor Pass? I don't think so. So here we are going up the pass, and this is going to be pass number 5 for me, number 4 for Jim and Mom. So I managed to actually complete the goal of the ride. I got the 5 passes in. And the biggest thing, again, is just that I was able to maintain the speed as I was going up the pass. So when Jim waved me on to go around them, I was like, you know what, I've been on this road not too many times, but just enough that I'm starting to somewhat get familiar with the road. And so I pushed it, here's the pass, yay, there's the summit. I pushed it just a little more than I had been, and I really felt like I was going very smoothly around the corners. So it was a good day going over this pass. On the way home, I decided to flip the Coso from green to blue just to see what it looked like, to see how it looked overnight. I think I'm going to stick with green. I just like it better, but that's just me. Okay, a couple weeks, something like that, on ninjet.org, there was 2 guys that were going to be going across country, and they've been asking for advice and recommendations as they go across, and I looked at their route, and I was like, hey, you guys are going right through Nevada. Do you mind if I ride with you for a while? And they said, sure, no problem. So I met them at the junction of 95 and 80 as they were going out towards Winnemucca. So in front of me here on the green Ninja, you'll see Brian, and on the white BMW, you'll see Sean. And both of those guys I've been talking to for a little bit, kind of telling them what I know about the area to counter the AAA recommendations on where they should go. You know, just because the AAA is the most efficient, whereas motorcycles want more fun. Now, Sean on his Beamer is a lot faster than both of us, but he wants to get video for the time lapse that he's making. So Brian and I are going to be leading. Sean's going to be bringing up the rear. And it was kind of cool because I was actually able to keep up with Brian. Surprisingly, I didn't think I was going to be able to do it. But we are just kind of cruising out 80, going out towards Winnemucca. If you've been on the road, you know how wonderfully boring that is. That's the problem with being on street bikes. You're kind of stuck on the freeways. And through Nevada, there really is no decent area to ride going across if your goal is just getting across. And one of the things I wanted to bring up, okay, so these videos I've been making on my tablet as I get the film back in. And Sean actually makes really good videos, at least in my opinion. And so he's recommended a program. I'm going to download it here in a couple weeks when I get enough footage to do something. And I want you to tell me if you like the way I've been doing it or what I could do to improve it, so when I get the actual good program, I can make a good video. So let me know what you think, let me know some ideas, and just because I'm not all that creative when it comes to stuff like this. But the video's about to wrap up. Thank you very much for joining me, and I look forward to talking with you next time. Have a good weekend.